It is asking us to be mindful of our human negativity against it. That is making the butterflies say goodbye to us. That is making the clean waters dried up. That is making the plant, the green rich vegetation go away. And I don't think we want to see that or we want to experience that. Nature is saying goodbye, and we are part of nature. We depend on nature. And so, as we can tell, climate change is here. I learned the spring is not supposed to be like this. Just like me coming from Ghana, it's so hot now, like 39 or 40 degrees, which shouldn't be the case. That is a sign of Mother Nature, planet Earth, knocking. Ago, let's wake up. Let's see what we can do as a people, as a community, nation, continent, globally, to stop Mother Nature from going away.
So this is what is happening right now, is that we have the butterflies, we have the trees in the rural area that you did your project. They're all saying goodbye to us. How do you think that we as art organizations can contribute to awareness and to maybe even solidarity when it comes to both our countries? Do you think we have a chance there?
Yeah, fortunately, art is the voice. So we just have to make it a priority focus and use our art. And art bring people together, right? That is why I believe I'm seated here next to you. So yeah, me being here now tells that everything is possible, that we can work together. And you saw the audience. They responded. That means they are ready to work together with us.
Yeah. So what we are going to do is we are going to organize walks, right?
Yes.
Walks in Ghana.
Walks in Nederlands.
Yeah.
Walk in the Caribbean, Curacao.
Curacao. Yeah.
So it's a triangle.
Yeah. Quite a strange triangle, of course. It used to be. And we are going to have people express their climate anxiety, right?
Yes.
Do you have for yourself something that you worry about the most? You told me about the water. What is going on with the water in your country?
All the clean waters now look like chocolate drink. Yeah. People, right from children to the old, have to depend on such water. Mining activities especially, and it's even political.
Yeah, of course.
Yes, it's a business in Ghana that there's severe mining situation that has polluted all the water. Our rich green vegetation is also now commercialized. Trees are being chopped down for commercial purposes and making those where there are places where the water is come from big source from the ground and from the rock, all going away. So in Ghana, water, clean water or safe water is our issue. Even in the capital, it's not safe. If I take you to Accra right now, you might not want to swim. Come to talk of drinking our water. So we have water crisis.
And when you do this project in which you call people to plant trees, I saw pictures of you talking to hundreds and hundreds of school children. Did it have effect, or does it have effect?
Yes, it did, and it does. The young ones are the future, right? So I believe that whenever there's a focus on change or an attempt to make change, you take it right from the root. So right from the young adults, the children, to the adults, and like the project you saw, that was even in the process of the project. And we had the school children, 5,000 plus, now pledged to become activists of the environment, including the adults. So that is where the tree planting started. And by the time the project was over, we had them digging the wells in their homes to have their own source of water, since we have to start helping ourselves if our leaders are not helping us. Yeah, so it does help.
So that's what we would like to work together in, of course. Now you're here at the literary festival. How you cannot understand the language? You can say Modder Aarde, yeah. But how? You have your own festival in Ghana, the Writers Festival. Can you tell us what is the difference and what is your experience today?
That's one interesting thing. So it doesn't have much difference.
No.
No, except for the bigger stage, like the whole theater. But Writers Project Festival, which is called Peja. Peja simply means to lit a fire, to light a fire. Yes, just like the stage you had me on, we have a stage like that for performance, and then the writers, there's a space created for them for reading, and then there are different little halls like this where they hold the interview and other reading. So, and it's accommodating and warm, and then just like here, I give platform for every voices in the arts to be heard. So it felt like home, except for the cold.
We cannot help you there. We tried this week, of course. You're wearing several loan coats. Are there any questions from you guys, by the way? She's here now.
We engage in community projects using the arts to educate and raise awareness in our community for positive change.
And this positive change has to do with, for instance, climate change?
Yes,
Yeah.
Environment and climate change social issues. Like, for instance, should I go on?
Yeah, go on.
We completed a project recently, which has to do with saving our water in Ghana. Currently, Ghana is suffering severe water pollution, and so we had a project called Global Water Dances, where we participated in an initiative. It's an international project though, and then Zafi went to a community, a rural community who actually doesn't have clean water, suffers deforestation, cutting down their trees, and besides the mining, polluting the water. So we held workshops right from schools to the locals, the fishermen, the farmers, and then we actually communicated our awareness through dance and theater workshop in schools. Yeah.
So being an artist for you is not just making art and finding an audience for it, but there is another dimension to it. Would you say that you are, as an artist, also a social worker?
Yes, I think I am. I'm a social worker and influencer.
An influencer?
Yes.
And what does it take for an artist to be a social worker? Or to work as a social worker?
I think basically it's about your focus. What you are focused on. I'm focused on making an impact and using my art to grow and for development in my community and my nation, to have a better world, save the planet Earth. So I think that's all it takes. You just have to make up your mind that in the end, your art become a tool for change.
So art as a tool for change means that you work in a different way than a writer that publishes a book or an actor that acts in a play. You also have to connect to the community.
Yes.
Does it mean, and I'm asking this question of course because I saw you work and we worked together. This week you were working at Artes, University of the Arts with students. Does it mean that you need different skills as an artist in order to create a connection to a community? How do you let a community, as for instance in the water project, how do you reach the point that the community actually works with you and recognizes you as an artist as a positive way of changing the community?
I represent every career field, every person. I am a mirror to the society. So basically, I am sometimes a teacher. I am sometimes a social worker. I am sometimes mostly the activist, both for humanity and the environment. And so I research. As a writer, that is even one of the things you do. You research, you create characters, not necessarily really creating, but observing and putting the characters, the world around us in your book. Then I go the extra mile to try to live the character. Best way to mirror every story I tell. So in telling my story, I have to use all the approach that is necessary for an activist or an artist who is interested in environmental art and using her art or their art for change, if that makes sense.
So that the word is out, activist. Are you? Is your? Would you say I'm an artist and an activist, or an artist and a social worker, or an artist and an activist and a social worker? In what order does it come?
I'll simply say I'm an artist because I believe artists are everything. We are social workers, we are an activist, we are teachers, we are the doctor, we are the lawyer, we are the builders. We are you, every one of you. That is what we are as artists. So
that is what you were saying in your performances. I've seen you do many performances. One of the performances we saw tonight, you used a word from Akan, the language that you speak. Maybe it's first to say you speak many languages, of course, because in your country are
over 100 languages.
So in order to work with communities, you have to speak many languages.
Yes, many languages.
Today, the people from the Netherlands in this room were singing the word "ago."
What is knocking?
It means knocking on the door, right?
Yes.
Here we are. Yeah.
Yes.
Do you also consider the audience as an artist?
Yes.
As storytellers?
Yes. Every person, I believe we are stories in motion. You carry a story, right from your birth, your name, how you get here. It's a story. If seated there without even saying a word, the blink of your eyes, the swing, every little move of you, to me, is a story. That communicates someone. And then here we are, seated here. That makes you one of us, or me. So you are all artists, or stories in motion.
This is for me a very beautiful way of looking at art, but I must say not always an easy one, of course, because you come somewhere in a community or you work with a group of students, and somehow you have to create a bond, a space in which the art can do its magical work, in which one recognizes himself as a storyteller of the artist. Do you have a special recipe that we can use? How to do this? How do you connect?
Through the heart. Love.